Yo everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to make a thumbnail like this one. So let's hop right into the video. Now first thing you're going to want to do is install paint.net, which you can go to getpaint.net. Getpaint.net, there's no .com or anything, which will be linked in the description below if you want to go from there. And then you're going to install this right here. Don't install the Windows 10 because that is paid, but if you want to install the paid one, well then, go ahead. So then what you're gonna do is take a screenshot of some sort, which I use the Badline replay mod or the Forge replay mod, and I'll go in, take a screenshot, something like this maybe a bridging fight, maybe something like this here, or simply something in PvP. But yeah, I'll have many, and then what I'll do is take one, open with paint.net, and then it will open right there. So here we are in the thumbnail, and the first thing I usually do is add an outline to my character. So you got two different things you can do. You can try using the magic wand tool, but that doesn't always work because it might detect something else as part of it. You can use the rectangle select tool, which sometimes will work. However, I do have it diagonal here, so it won't really work. Or you can go to your lasso select tool right here, and then you can use that, which is much more free to use. So yeah, basically what you're gonna do is simply go over this and just outline what you want to outline. For me, I like outlining my name tag and my character because it just looks nice that way. It puts the focus on the character. Now, if you have a higher resolution image, then it won't necessarily matter as much if your outline's not perfect. However, if you are in a lower resolution image, which you can find down here, mine's is in 1920 by 1080, which is taken by full screening, it will be beneficial to take more time, make sure it's as perfect as you can. Yeah, I'm gonna take a bit more time on the name tag because I want it to look the best as it can. Okay, so there we go, I have my name tag outlined. So the next thing I'm gonna do is outline my character here. Since I have a high resolution, I don't really care as much because it will look kind of alike even if it's not perfect. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, keep in mind to hold control as you're doing this, because if you don't, as you can see here, that just happened. It'll reset. So you can simply undo that though if you do make that mistake. Just be sure to hold control so you don't reset. Yeah, so as you can see here, I did mess up a little here. It didn't go perfect, but if I zoom out, it doesn't make a huge difference. However, if it is lower resolution, then you will notice the difference. Okay, so now that I'm all done with that, I'm going to simply Control C to copy it. I'm going to go here to add a new layer, and then I'm going to paste out Control V, and then I now have my character on a separate layer. So next thing I'll do usually is go to the background to add a blur. Now, there's a few options you have. You can simply do a Gaussian blur, and I'll do one of around 10. Makes that. You can do a radial blur. You can do something like 2. Maybe sometimes you can angle it a bit more, like 4. Like, don't want to go too much because clearly it can get pretty messy pretty fast. So I'd say a good range is around 2. It's set by default 2. And then you get that. Looks pretty nice. But what I usually do is I'll go to Gaussian blur, put it at 10, then do a radial blur and put it at 2, and then it creates this really nice look. The next thing I'm going to do, and just deal with it right now, is add a border. Now there's a couple options you have. So you're going to add a new layer, go to your shape. If you want, you can just set it to white now. Then you're going to just simply do that. Then you want to go to your rectangle select tool, and then you're going to use it and select the area you don't want. So if you want a thin border, maybe select all this. Then you're going to delete it. Since I have a compact keyboard, you can do F and delete, but you just have to do delete. And then it creates this border. But I'm going to go for a little bit of a thicker border. And try to align, I know it's not going to be perfect, but you can try to align your corners or your borders as much as you can. So I'm going to do that. Now here's where you have multiple options. Go to layers, layer properties. Now you can lower your opacity and then you can drag it. And then it creates this. So you got this kind of look. Or you can go back to layer properties and then you can go to blend mode. Then choose overlay, and then it creates this really nice overlay effect. Next thing I'm going to do is outline the character I have right here. So I'm going to duplicate the layer of the character. Make sure you're on that one. Go to the bottom one, effects, stylize, and then outline. And then you're going to drag it to around 7 to 10. Ideally, I'm going to do 7. And then make sure your intensity is at 100. Now you're going to go to your magic wand tool, and then you should just have to click on it once if it's all white. And then you're just going to simply delete that. Then you're going to go to adjustments, hue and saturation, and then move it to the white in lightness. And then just like that, you have an outline of your character. So the final thing I'm going to do in this thumbnail is add text. So I'm going to add another layer. Then I'm going to move it to how I want it. So for example, I'm just going to type some stuff here. If you want it like on top of the character, just drag it above them. If you want it below them, just drag it under them. I'm going to do it under because it'll probably look nicer. So yeah, I'm going to type out, choose the right size. It'll be more ideal to do a bigger size if you have a larger resolution, and it'll be more ideal to do smaller to the lower. For now I'm going to select this color. However, I'm going to select a secondary color by clicking on this and then choosing that. That way I can make a gradient later on. So then I'm going to adjust this to how I want it. Now, little tip here, hold shift while you're moving this and it will always create a perfect square. So I'm going to move this about right here. Now I'm going to create a gradient by going to the magic wand tool. Then I'm going to select each of the letters and numbers. And then be sure you're holding control so it selects everything. Then you're going to go to your gradient tool, make sure you have 2 colors selected, and then simply drag. Here I'm going to do purple on the right, so then I'm just going to drag from here. Next thing I want to do here is create an outline for my text, so I'm going to simply duplicate that text like I did to the character. I'm going to go to the bottom, effects, stylize, outline. Then I will choose probably around 4, and then I'm going to make it white. You can also do it here to make it a black. I could do black for some contrast, but it could match with white. So I'll probably see, it's mostly about experimenting and kind of find what works best for you. Like, maybe you would prefer this black one, or maybe you'd rather the white to match the other. It's really up to you, and just take some experimenting. However, I think here, I might make it black, because it seems to contrast. But then again, white matches. But I'm gonna keep with the white. But yeah, that's basically all I have for you guys. And then you're gonna simply go to File, Save As, select .png here, and then you're going to save it to wherever you want. I'm going to save it in my downloads. I'm going to rename it to 150 sub montage, and then I'm going to simply save it. And then I'm going to press flatten, and then just like that, you have a thumbnail. So let me know if you guys enjoy this video. If you want to see more tutorials from me video editing, just let me know in the comments below. I hope this helped you enough, and yeah, good luck on your YouTube channel if you are using this as a proper thumbnail tutorial, and I'll see you guys on the next one.